welcome to Absolutely Abundant, a podcast for soul line creatives. I'm your host, Julie Getzinger, and this is episode 33, Worthy. This year has been a huge lesson to me in identity and defining myself by success, defining myself by how much money was in my account, how many people wanted to work with me. And as people completed their contracts and moved forward, it felt like a not good job for me for helping them get where they needed to be, but I took it as they don't want to be with me anymore. I have no value to them anymore. And that was the story I told myself, and it felt like heartbreak. It was painful. And as the client started to move on and I had some unforeseen things happen financially this year, my worthiness went down dramatically. My confidence went down dramatically. And I started to think, they don't want to be with me. I have nothing to offer. I'm done. I scheduled some connection calls with past clients who told me what's happened since working with me, things I didn't even know. One of them fell in love with her partner and now has 2 children with her. And I was like, how long has it been since we talked? You were single the last time we worked together. And then another client was telling me about this huge surge in income that she's had in her business and the money blocks that I help her to overcome. And then others, it was just so good to hear their voice and reconnect with them. And they reminded me of what I've already done, and the lessons taught are invaluable to them. But for me, it just felt like loss. It felt like not good enough. And I started moving money around. I started getting resourceful and really reorganizing everything, scrutinizing every little payment that I was making to be very mindful. Is this something that serves my business? Is this working? And if it wasn't, I let it go. So it gave me the opportunity to go through everything with a fine comb and to let go of things that weren't joyful or that weren't bringing a return on my business. So that was a great gift. But a shift happened for me the other night at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is my hour when spirit wakes me up. I heard very clearly, you've been inauthentic, Julie. You've been inauthentic. And I was like, how? How am I being inauthentic? And what I received was, you need to claim who you are as a psychic medium and not shy away from it for fear of judgment. How others are going to receive you. How can you package yourself so that you're accepted by more people, so that you can make more money, so that you can feel more loved, more accepted? And I was told very specifically, you need to change this title. You need to own this. This is who you are. This is not a profession. This is your calling. This is your mission. You need to do this. And I had started to shift to serve who I thought needed to be served in order to make money, in order to sustain myself and my family. I was like, well, I need to teach business strategy. I need to do this. This is what people want. And what happened was there was a disconnect, and they were saying, I don't have time for another program. I don't have time. I don't have money for another education program right now. And in my mind, I was like, this isn't an educational program. I'm a psychic medium. I can connect to your loved ones. I can connect to your guides and your angels and help you step into your highest growth potential. This is not education. This is mission. And not just my mission, but their mission too. And I think that's why it was painful to hear people say, I'm just not ready yet. I'm just not ready yet. But I've been saying that to myself. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to step into the full version of who I am. And at 3 a.m., I changed my title to psychic medium, and I put it all over social media. I put it on my website, and I'm like, I'm just going to accept that this is it. This is it. And I looked back in my life, the times that I did accept that and write about it in my book and claim that as my own and just shared it with the world. My abundance was there. And right after I reclaimed this title, this has been who I am in multiple lifetimes. When I reclaimed this title, I got the yes I'd been waiting for. Not just this yes on my house. It's like a new lease on life. It feels like a complete new lease on life. And I had started to feel the urgency around moving, and it's time to move. I keep hearing it's time to declutter, it's time to shift. And I was like, I don't have that much stuff. I'm in an apartment. I'll do that when I move. I started to look around for some places to move, and I was thinking, I am done with being in an apartment. I'm done with having lots of neighbors. I'm an empath. I feel every little thing. And being in an apartment has been very challenging for me for multiple reasons, but this is just not the way I want to live. This is not conducive to my lifestyle. And I started looking for other options, and I saw this house. It was like a little cottage, and it's by a lake. And I drove up with my daughter, and she said, Mommy, can we afford this? This is its own house. And I said, well, actually, it's less expensive than where we are now because I'm in a high cost of living area. And she was like, wow, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I was like, I know. And we hadn't had a tour scheduled yet, but I had my daughter's approval, which is really important to me because she's very in tune as well. And we drove away, and I was like, I gotta move on this. This is big. And I set up a tour the next day with the owner. I walk in, and there's sage in the in the middle of his table, and there's crystals everywhere. And I was like, what is this? This is like so staged for me. I don't meet many people who have all of this where I live in the East Coast, near Washington, D.C. There's not a lot of us that I've met personally that live here. And this man has this all over his house, and I'm talking to him, seeing all the things that we have in common. And I'm just like, this is my house. This is my house. I start taking pictures of every room, planning out where I'm going to put everything. Meanwhile, like, I didn't even fill out an application yet, but I knew it was my house. And I drove away, and all the fears. What if he doesn't pick me? What if my finances aren't strong enough? What if he wants someone with two-person income? All the fears, all the doubt, the self-doubt, the worthiness that I've been struggling with all year, not feeling good enough, it came out to the forefront. And the night that I decided to reclaim who I am and not to be fearful of the judgment that I may receive for saying or claiming or sharing that I am a psychic medium, the next morning I got the yes for the house. And the excitement that I feel in knowing that this is where I'm going to step into that next highest version of myself as an entertainer, as a performer, as someone who is ready to be seen and received by the masses, and feeling so called to performance, feeling called to big audiences, big crowds. I know that it's going to happen when I'm in that house. And all of this happened after I said yes, and after I did some looking into the worthiness piece. When things are stripped away from us that we associate with our worth, our money, our appearance, who we're in partner with. The other day I was thinking, I'm not where I want to be financially. I don't have a partner right now. I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know what's happening with my business. There were so many unknowns that I was just like in the depths of hell, in the depths of it. Dark night of the soul, like, I'm done with all of this. And I don't deserve this because I've worked so hard to get where I am. And meanwhile, the outside world is telling me you're amazing, you're so inspiring, you've changed my life. We're so appreciative of you. I hear that. I can hear that all day long. But until I know it and I feel it within, it means nothing. Not needing the external world to validate us, but seeing it from within and trusting our intuition and going where it says to go and visualizing the future already realized. I saw myself in that house. I see myself in the house. I see myself on stage. I've had dream over dream over dream over dream of huge stadiums, audiences filled coming to hear me speak. And the lesson for me has been, we're not worthy by what we do, how we look, who's with us, who thinks we're good enough. We're worthy because we exist, because we're here. We're all worthy exactly as we are, not after we've gotten more education, after we have more money, after our body looks a certain way, after someone tells us they love us, but for exactly who we are in this moment. You are worthy. So it's time to start celebrating that future not even realized yet. Start celebrating it now. Feel it now. See yourself there now. Doing it now. Being with who you want to be, with where you want to be. See it. Feel it. You are worthy of all of it, and it can happen like that. Like that. And some of us choose to have our manifestations spread out. Some of us choose to get them in this like windfall. That's what I like. Just give it all. Just a huge windfall. Thank you. But however you are open to receiving it, knowing that it is coming. You put your order and you've requested it is coming. You are worthy of it. What's mine will never pass me by. What's mine will never pass me by. My requests have been heard. My requests have been honored. And in the perfect time and in the perfect way, they will be realized. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for trusting me to help guide you. If you feel called to work deeper with me, I am accepting one-on-one clients at the moment. I have 2 spots for October. If you're interested in going deeper into worth, why you're not letting in what you want to let in, the relationship, the money, the success, the body you want to be in, why you're not, and what you can do to allow it to come to you, I am here to help you, guide you into that. I'm also a psychic medium. So that is how I coach my clients. I tune in intuitively and I see things from this life. I see things from past lives. And once we see them, it's so much easier to accept them and then to do the work to recreate our life experiences, to write the story we want to be living now. So if that feels like something you want to learn more about, to go deeper with me, reach out to me. My website is juliegetzinger.com. Email julie@juliegetzinger.com and we'll talk more about it. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you again next week.